You know, every single day, tens of thousands of absolutely massive cargo ships are crisscrossing our oceans. They're basically the backbone of the entire global economy, truly floating cities of steel. But have you ever stopped to wonder what happens when one of these 200,000-ton giants just goes silent, right in the middle of nowhere, when its power just cuts out?
So what is it that's keeping this whole operation running? Because literally everything on board, from the navigation systems to the main engines, right down to the crew's coffee maker, it all depends on one single, incredibly powerful system.
And that system is the boiler. The best way to think about it is as the ship's powerful beating heart. It's constantly pumping life-giving steam and power through every single deck and compartment. And, well, just like a real heart, if it stops, everything stops with it.
So when that heart fails to start, marine engineers don't just have a broken machine on their hands. Oh no, they have a full-blown, high-stakes investigation to launch. It's this methodical hunt for a single culprit hiding among a dozen different possibilities.
And that investigation, it always begins in the same place, with the fuel system. If the boiler is the heart, then the fuel lines have to be the arteries, right? And the very first question you have to ask is the heart even getting any blood?
The key here is just to follow the path logically, from the tank all the way to the flame. First up, you check the valves. I know, it sounds almost too simple, but you would not believe how often the problem is just that the path isn't even open. Then you move on to the filters. These ships run on really thick, heavy fuel, and it can choke the system with sludge. Okay, so if that's clear, is the pump itself actually working? Is it delivering pressure? And then finally, you get to the very last point of failure, the nozzles. Is something blocking the fuel right at the last possible second?
And speaking of that final delivery, the fuel doesn't just get dumped in there. It has to be sprayed in a super fine mist. And that's the job of a device called an atomizer. Honestly, the easiest way to picture it is to think of a perfume bottle. It's the exact same idea. It turns a stream of liquid fuel into a fine, flammable cloud, so you get a perfect, efficient burn. If that little thing is clogged, you're getting absolutely nothing.
All right, so let's say the arteries, the fuel system, all check out. The next logical step is to investigate the ship's nervous system. We're talking about that complex web of electrical controls and sensors that are supposed to tell the boiler what to do and, crucially, when to do it.
And the list of suspects here is just as methodical. It could be something called a solenoid valve, basically an electronic gate that's just stuck shut. Or maybe it's a contactor switch, a key component in the main control panel that's just given up. It could even be the electrodes themselves, the spark plugs. Maybe they're so worn down or covered in gunk that they can't create that initial spark. Or, and this is a tricky one, it could be the boiler's own safety system working against you.
A perfect example of that is this critical little component called the flame eye. It's a sensor, and its only job in life is to see fire. If it doesn't detect a flame right after ignition, it shuts the whole system down immediately. Why? To prevent the chamber from flooding with explosive unburnt fuel. Now here's the catch. If the flame eye itself is dirty or it's malfunctioning, it will think there's no flame even when there is one, and it'll trigger a false alarm, killing the power.
Okay, so after checking all those complex fuel lines and all those intricate electrical systems, what do you think is one of the single most common reasons a high-tech marine boiler won't start? I have a feeling this one's going to sound a little familiar.
Yep, that's right. It's the classic, have you tried turning it off and on again? Before you can even start the boiler, you have to make sure any previous trip alarms have been properly reset. A low water level warning from a few hours ago, or a flame failure from the last attempt, any of those will keep the entire system locked out until an engineer physically goes and clears the alert. Sometimes the most complicated problems really do have the simplest solutions.
So let's recap. You've checked the fuel, and you've checked for an electrical spark. But any fire needs one more thing, right? It needs air. And that brings us to our final system. Because just like the heart and the brain, the boiler also has lungs, and it needs to be able to breathe just right for it to work.
And that breath is an incredibly delicate balance. The air-to-fuel ratio has to be absolutely perfect. If you have too little air, you just get a smoky, sooty, inefficient fire. But if you have too much air, you can literally blow the flame right out before it even gets a chance to start. It's just like blowing out a candle.
And here's another safety feature that can cause a headache. Before the boiler even tries to light, it has to do something else first. It has to exhale. A giant forced draft fan kicks on to purge any trapped, unburnt gases left over from the last cycle. But if the flaps that control that powerful fan get stuck open, you get a continuous blast of air rushing into the chamber, making it totally impossible for a stable flame to ever form. So, after looking at all these potential ways a boiler can fail, what's the real lesson here? Because this isn't just about how to fix a massive piece of marine engineering. It's actually about a universal approach to solving just about any complex problem you can think of.
You see, the expert engineer isn't the one who has simply memorized a list of 12 things that can go wrong. No, the true expert is the one who deeply understands the logical process, who knows how to take what looks like an impossible problem and break it down into a series of simple, testable questions.
And this is that logic, right here. First, you always start with the simplest, most obvious explanation. Is a valve just closed? Then you isolate the problem. Is this a fuel issue, an electrical issue, or an air issue? By tackling one system at a time, you get rid of all the extra noise. Then, you follow the path within that one system, step by step, from its source all the way to its destination. And, of course, you never, ever forget to check the obvious. So, the next time you're facing a problem that seems hopelessly complicated, I don't care if it's at work, at home, or with some piece of tech that's driving you crazy, just remember the silent heart of the ship. The logic that can restart a 200,000-ton vessel is the exact same logic that can fix almost anything. The only question is, where are you going to apply it first?